All right, welcome to my first lesson, Algebra 1. I've been trying to get able to record these, but as you can tell, I've been a little under the weather the last couple days, and unfortunately, this is the best that I feel. So I figured, hey, let's crank out a video. When you are, since this is your first video, I need to explain before we actually get into it. These videos, I have pre-made all of the material that I would typically write on the board. So anytime you see something typed, that's something that you're going to want to pick your color that you do your directions and definitions and stuff in. That's when you're going to want to pause and write that down so that you're matching your notes that way. Because remember, this is supplementary, so that if you're absent, you can continue working and stay up to date in class so you don't get behind. Excuse me. So I'll give you time, or I'll give you kind of a heads up to, hey, maybe you should pause real quick. There'll be time for you to pause and work things out on your own, and I actually want you to work it out. On those instances, you will not see me actually work them out. I'll just have the answer. And if you get it, great. If not, you need to make sure that you contact me before school, after school, or after class so we can have that conversation as to why we didn't get that answer. Okay, so lesson number 1 of the year, problem solving. Maybe. There you go. So you're going to want to go ahead and write these down. So number 1, understand the problem. And I'm going to type this because my handwriting on my computer is not ideal. I can do it, but it doesn't look very appealing, and it's very difficult to read. So you want to know you're going to list, what's been given to you. And you're going to identify what are you looking for. So what's been given to you, what are you looking for to solve? Step number 2 is plan the solution. This is where you're going to try and write an equation based on the information that's been given to you and what you know you need to solve or what you're looking for. There we go. Step 3 is solve a problem. I mean, that's kind of simple. That's pretty explanatory itself, is you're just going to solve whatever equation you wrote. And then step number 4, is check the solution, make sure that the solution you came up with actually is reasonable. So if you're talking about our school, for instance, and you are given a problem and your solution comes out to be, we have around 1,000 students, and we know that there's no way that's correct because we do not have 1,000 students in our middle school. So you would be able to identify, hey, I see that that's not the correct answer. All right, example 1. So this is where a good time to pause, write down the problem, and then when you're done writing it down, we can work through this together. All right, Ling's hallway, again, I can't really talk right now. Ling's hallway is 10 feet long and 4 feet wide. He paid $200 to tile his hallway floor. How much did he pay per square foot? Okay, so I'm going to change this color for a moment. Step 1. So what is the first thing that we're trying to do? Okay, well, we are trying to, come on, there we go. We know that his hallway is 10 by 4, so that's 40 square feet. Sometimes my computer thinks that I'm trying to type for some reason, and I'm not. Or it likes to put lines in between my numbers, and I don't know why it's been doing that, but it's really frustrating. So we know that the hallway is 40 square feet, and we want to know how much per square foot. So how much did you have to pay? Keep trying to grab my mouse, but it's not for this computer, so it's kind of funny. Step 2, create that equation. So we know that, I'm going to scroll this down just a little bit, so I'm not writing on my keyboard essentially. We know that we're trying to find the cost per square foot. So he finally, his total in the end was 200. That's how much he paid. And if you think about it, how do you determine the cost of something? Well, you take the cost per one times the how many you bought of it. So let's say that we're going to use the letter P to indicate price per square foot. And we know we took that number times 40 because we had 40 square feet that we were trying to tile. So my random piece, we're going to write that off to the side in a different color. We're going to use green because green sounds great. We're going to try and solve for that variable of P. So P is a price per square foot. Step 3 now is to actually solve. So I know that I want to undo that multiplication. And so to undo multiplication, we use division. So I'm going to divide both sides, and I'm going to rewrite my equation down here so that I can manipulate it. I need to use black. I apologize. I grabbed the wrong color. And so to undo that multiplication of 40, we're going to divide both sides by 40. And the cool part here is if they both end in a 0, you can just cross them off. So then 20 divided by 4 is 5. So I get about $5 a square foot. And then let's check, does that sound like a reasonable answer? $5 about a square foot, that's pretty reasonable. That's pretty good pricing in my opinion. I'd rather pay $5 a square foot than like $20 a square foot. It's possible to do that. And then also you're just going to check your work. So 5 times 40, let's double check, okay? I'm going to actually work this out. I'm going to switch colors so I don't get confused. So 40 times 5, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 4 is 20. And hey, look, we reached our original $200, so it worked. Okay, I want you to determine this one on your own. So pause the video, write it down, and see what you can come up with. So you should see that their car drove 13.4, or excuse me, their car when driving got 13.4 miles per gallon. So it's not the best MPGs at all. But hey, who knows what kind of car? Maybe they had a truck. Maybe they're driving a U-Haul. Who knows? Doesn't explicitly state. So